Let's have a look at the distance formula to find the distance between 2 points. Here's the formula here. Looks a bit like Pythagoras' theorem, doesn't it? It's sort of related to that, really, in a way. It's a sort of using the theory behind Pythagoras' theorem, which remember was c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Okay, so when we were finding c squared, we were actually doing this process. Okay, if you think about Pythagoras' theorem, it is c squared, the hypotenuse, equals a squared plus b squared. All right. So if you wanted to find c, the hypotenuse, it would be the square root of a squared plus b squared. Okay, now a is sort of the distance, if you like, from there to there. Let's draw a line down there. And b would be the distance from there to there, or vice versa. Okay, so when you're finding these distances, so in fact that distance there is going to be x2 minus x1. Okay, one x minus the other x. Here, same here, that's going to be y2 minus y1, 4 minus 1, for example, which would be 3. So you're really just doing the application here of Pythagoras' theorem. All right, let's get started with this question, though. And you can see the formula there, and you've got 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. So I'm actually going to write down my 2 points that I've got here. So I'm going to label A here. So the point A is negative 3 on the x and 1 on the y. So x1 and y1. Point B, if you see it there, it's 3 on the x and 4 on the y. So it's 3, 4. That's x2 and y2. So now it's a matter of using my formula very carefully here. Okay, so AB, the distance between A and B, is going to be the square root of x2, which is 3 over here, asterisk next to that. So 3 minus x1, so 3 minus minus 3. I'm going to square that. Plus y2, which is 4, minus x1, which is 1. So once again, I'm using my x2, y2, x1, y1, substituting in here to the formula. That's squared as well. Equals the square root of 3 plus 3, so that's going to be 6 squared. Remember, a minus minus is a plus there. Plus 4 minus 1 squared, so that's 3 squared. Okay, there. So 6 squared plus 3 squared equals the square root of 36 plus 9 equals the square root of 45. Okay, so just get my calculator out and quickly work out the square root of 45, maybe to a couple of decimal places. So just bear with me for a moment. Square root of, so 45, so it's going to be 6.71. So there we go, that's the distance between A and B. Let's do another question. And this time we haven't got a diagram, we've just got the points. Okay, so here I'm going to label them x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so the distance, just call it D if you like for distance, equals, writing the formula out, x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 and squared as well. Extend that along a bit. Okay, so equals x2 is 3. So square root of 3 minus x1 is minus 1, so 3 minus minus 1 squared, plus y2, which is negative 2, minus y1, which is 5, squared, equals the square root of. So 3 minus minus 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4 squared, plus minus 2 minus 5 is negative 7 squared. Now make sure you bracket the negative 7. Okay, if you don't do that and you're working on your calculator, you can run into problems. So that's the square root of 16. Negative 7 is negative 7 times negative 7, which is positive 49, equals the square root of 65. Just a warning that if you end up getting a negative square root here, you've done something wrong, okay? Because you can't obviously get the square root of a negative number. So just be careful of that. Go back over your working if you end up with a negative square root. So square root of 65, 8.06. So that's the distance between those 2 points. So there's an introduction to the distance formula. Bye for now.